Hi, Dana. You made a pretty large 180 in terms of not supporting this fight originally, saying it would be an epic fail for Conor if he went down this road, and then supporting it. So how much of that had to do with the idea of this being financially beneficial for the UFC to pay off debt after the sale last year?
I didn't say that this would be an epic fail for Conor to go down this path. That was something else that I was talking about. What was the question about the debt?
How much does this have to do with the UFC receiving money to allow this fight to take place?
Listen, if you're going to ask me stupid questions, at least get your questions right. First of all, I didn't say that this would be an epic fail if he went down that path. And we were talking about something else because Conor and I were actually butting heads on something. That's when I said that would be an epic fail if he went down that path. Number two, as far as the debt goes, Conor could fight twice this year, and we're going to do fine anyway. This is the fight that Conor wanted, Mayweather wanted it, and the fans wanted it. So we're doing it. So if you're going to ask me a stupid question, at least get it right.
Sorry, I meant epic fall, not epic fail.
NASCAR is not going to replace Formula One. Formula One is not going to replace NASCAR. You see some crossover, a driver from Formula One will try NASCAR. No one makes a big deal about it. They say, oh, that'll be interesting to see how the skills transfer. I think that's what we're talking about here.
Great. And
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
And Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor are such unique individuals and so dominant in both of their sports and you know, in every way, shape, and form. It's a fun fight, you know. And like Leonard said earlier, this isn't some fight that we went out and tried to make or build or anything else. This thing built itself. This is a fight that started from the ground up. The fans wanted to see this thing. The media went crazy about it, and here we are.
Finally, for Leonard. Leonard, when did Conor first get on Floyd's radar? Was there a fight he won or an appearance he made that made this all of a sudden start to be a real thing?
Well, I can't exactly remember the time frame, but the kid, he's been making a lot of noise, and I had watched the fight or something, and I was telling Floyd, I was like, this kid got a nice hand game, and Floyd thought, he said, yeah, he do got a nice hand game. So again, this is a fight that Floyd is taking very, very seriously because we all do know all it takes in boxing is one shot, and it don't have to be a clean shot. A guy with that kind of power, he can nick you, and you can be buzzed. There's been a few times in fights in Floyd's career that, you know, he might have been buzzed in a fight, but nobody never knew. And there's been a couple times that he's been buzzed in a fight. So the one thing about Conor McGregor we do know is that you got to pay him very, very close attention because when he touches people, they fall out.
Thanks, guys.
But Leonard, from your point of view, Dana has said this would be a fight contested at 154 pounds. What went into that decision for Floyd?
We had no issues with fighting Conor McGregor at 154. It's a fight, and it's going to take place at 154 pounds.
What were the biggest points of contention in the negotiation for anyone?
There really weren't any. The thing was actually really smooth.
It's one of the smoothest that I've ever been involved in.
Me too.
And I third that.
Finally, guys, question about the undercard. Are we looking at all boxing? No other UFC crossover on this?
Yes, all boxing, and we'll put together we'll put together a tremendous undercard. But that's forthcoming. You know, we're very excited again to be working. You know, Steven, myself, Floyd. We're very excited to be working with Dana and Conor in this tremendous event. This shit is going to be fun. It's really going to be a lot of fun. And the fans, I can't wait to get started with this.
Thanks, guys.
Our next question comes from Lester Silva with Univision.
Good evening, everyone. This question's for Leonard or Dana. You guys had mentioned that this was pretty much smooth sailing as far as putting this mega fight together. Was there an obstacle at one point where it could have jeopardized the fight, or was it just smooth throughout?
No, it was ever since we sat down and seriously started talking. It's been like I think all three of us were just unanimous, and it's been one of the smoothest deals we've ever done.
Good to hear. And my next question is for Dana. Now that McGregor has made the crossover and the breakthrough for going into boxing, have you been approached by other UFC fighters wanting to do the same?
Yeah. And the thing is, the difference is this. Floyd Mayweather is arguably the greatest of all time in boxing. Conor McGregor is a massive star in our sport. The right fight in the right place at the right time. I thought it would be impossible to deal with Mayweather Promotions, to deal with Heyman, to deal with Showtime, and I thought it would all be an impossible deal to do. It was the right fight at the right place at the right time, and we got it done. So, yeah, I don't want to be doing this every weekend.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Gene Wang with Washington Post.
Hey, Leonard, just one quick question for you. Is this a one-and-done deal for Floyd, or would he be leaving the door open after this if he has the itch to fight more after this one?
Floyd has talked nothing else other than fighting Conor McGregor. That's 100% of his focus. When I spoke to him earlier, he was actually running while he was talking to me on the phone with the cell phone in his ear, and he told me, I'll call you back. Floyd's not thinking about nothing other than Conor McGregor. That's one thing I've always admired about him, is that you only can focus on what's in front of you. When you get to looking ahead or remotely considering some other shit, at this level when you're operating, you take the focus off of what it is, then you slip up and you make a mistake. All Floyd is thinking about is fighting Conor McGregor and whipping his ass.
And Leonard, you can interrupt me and call me a liar if I'm saying this incorrectly. But at the time when all of this went public on social media, Floyd was, a little behind Conor's tweet. Floyd was actually outrunning at the exact moment when all this burst on social media. So that was actually why he was a little bit delayed in getting it up on his social media, because he was actually running at that time.
And that's exactly true. We had talked like 3 times. We talked 3 times this morning, and he wasn't finished his damn run. That's just how he is. It's like business first, and, he was in the middle of his run, and he was like, I will call you back. He had somebody hand him the phone. He said, I'll call you back. I'm in the middle of my run. That's just how he is.
Thank you, guys.
Our next question comes from Robert Morales with LA Daily News.
Hello, everybody. I have one for Stephen and for Dana, if I may. Stephen, I wanted to kind of ask you a question, kind of the reverse of what Lance asked Dana earlier. If a guy like Conor McGregor comes in and either gives Floyd, more grief than we've seen him get against boxers, or even somehow beats him, does that hurt the boxing brand?
Oh, this is not a referendum on the sport of boxing or the sport of MMA. What this is it's a competition between Floyd and Conor. And if Conor is victorious, what that means is that Conor beat Floyd, and we have, a really interesting potential rematch maybe down the line. But that's all it means. It's not a victory for one sport or the other, regardless of who wins.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Hey, Dana, I know you think a lot of Conor, and I've spoken to a couple of people about him. They say he's got this really tremendous fighting spirit. Can you just tell us a little bit about him in a nutshell, about that fighting spirit, and maybe where he ranks with other great MMA fighters that you've promoted?
No, I agree. It's absolutely true. And I think, you can't help but feel it. And it's what makes, when you're a true fight fan, you don't mind hearing about the money and all that other stuff, as long as it's a guy that loves to fight and he's willing to challenge himself against anybody out there. Fights fall out. I've got all these situations, over the last several years when a fight will fall out, and we got these guys that are supposed to be the biggest, baddest guys in the world. They claim they're the best in the world. They're the world champion, whatever it might be. They're not willing to step up and take a late minute replacement, and when you're a fan, you bought tickets, you got your hotels booked, or you're planning a party on Saturday night. When your guy steps up and fights anybody and then wins, that's the stuff that people love, and that's what the way Conor is. Conor told me this morning the McGregor clan has been taking over villages for the last 300 years, and Floyd's village is next.
Hey, Dana, thank you for that, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Daniel Austin with Post Media.
Hi, guys. I'm not sure who exactly this would be for, but obviously the promotional side of this fight is going to be something that people are really interested in. Do you know when we'll get to see the two of them sort of in the same room or doing a press conference together?
We're working on that now. We got the deal done, and now we're getting all the business done on how this is all going to work out. And obviously, this is new territory for me. I'm not used to working with other people on doing this stuff. So we got. I figure in the next probably 6 to 7 days we can get this stuff figured out and have a lot more